Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to our podcast. I'm Kristin.
I'm Iris, and we remembered to introduce ourselves this time.
We did. We're coming to you from the Cashmere Goat in Camden, Maine. And we just like to share a little bit about what goes on in the shop, what we're knitting.
What people are talking about, thinking about, what we're thinking about, what we're knitting. Yeah, all the things.
It's a really busy time of year right now in Camden, Maine. It's a little touristy town. It's very cute. It's a very old-fashioned looking town.
Seaside charm.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about it is there's no box stores here. There's no chain stores. Well, we do have a Walgreens.
We have a Walgreens.
And
we
a
have
Subway.
like a main chain store, Rennie's.
Right.
But that's like a main department store experience. So if you come, you have to have the Rennie's experience.
You do. It's part of it. And
But you're not going to find like a Dunkin' Donuts downtown.
No,
you're going to find a local coffee shop, a local bookstore.
So it's kind of cool, and it looks the way towns used to look, which is really kind of cool, and I think it's one of the reasons why people really like it.
Yeah.
And it's where the mountains meet the sea.
Yes.
That's our little tagline.
Because we've got the Camden Hills that are surrounding, great hiking trails.
And for you out west, you may debate the mountain.
Mountain. We have a ski mountain, too.
I think it technically is a mountain.
Yes, and it's the only place on the the only ski resort on the East Coast where you can see the ocean from the top.
It is kind of
cool. That's cool. And if you grew up skiing on it like my kids did, you are amazing in icy conditions.
You can ski anywhere. Basically.
You know, you might not have a lot of deep powder experience, but you get an ice storm and no problem.
Yep. So
no problem.
It's true, but we don't have to worry about that right now because
it's hot, it's steamy, it's humid.
It is. It is a little humid.
Like maybe like in the 90s humid. Like I looked and
I mean the temperature says 70, but it does not feel like
it's
that.
just it's thick out there.
And you walked, go you.
We had a slower walk today with the dogs up a little trail. We did the short loop because one of the dogs is recovering, but I prepared and wore my suit so I could hop in the pond at the bottom of the hill after our swim. So dog and I took a swim.
I did not hike this morning.
It was slow going.
This weather, it's like I don't want to be out in it.
The motivation is low.
It's
even like when I got home and I was nice and cooled off in my suit and I was feeling great and I went and like had some breakfast on my screen porch and then I was like, yeah, this just feels gross out here.
We are cold weather lovers here.
Yes, we are. Give us the snowy coldness. But you know, summer's fun. I mean, summer in Maine, it's fun. It's busy. We've got visitors that come and go in our homes, in our shop. And
we have so many people. And if you're coming, make sure you say hi, my name is, and where you're from. Because we always love to hear stories about people coming to visit us that watch us on here. It's fun for us. Feels like a little bit of a cheering section.
It's very cool.
Which keeps us motivated.
And a couple of our remote goats, Gwen and Teresa from New York, are coming in August, and they're going to plan a little visit on a Sunday so they can knit with us, which will be super fun.
That's awesome.
And you know, we always talk about this, but it always is such a nice sort of heart-lifting moment because it seems like all summer long we have people that walk in the door and their faces are like, they are so happy to be in a yarn store that looks like ours. And so, you know, we get to live with all this beauty all the time.
You do.
We're still impressed by it, but it's still when you see that on a customer's face and they're like, oh, I just don't have any shops near where I live that are anything like this anymore.
It's really nice to hear.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
So yeah, it's really, really lovely when folks come in and they're so happy to be here because they've either watched the podcast or they've been here before and they're happy to be back. It's fun to meet that excitement at work. It's a lot of fun. We have fun, and there's also people that are just busy. Yeah. They want to get their stuff and go.
They get in and they get out, but they appreciate the parking because they can do that. And, you know, yesterday I had a customer in the afternoon who really wanted to, she's not a knitter. She was wanting to buy some yarn for a sister-in-law, I think. And she was really like I could see she really wanted to buy a sweater quantities of yarn for her sister-in-law. Nice. But I was also like, there's a lot of questions, like if you find a yarn you love and we could sort of estimate, but it can be a little tricky, and especially if you don't necessarily know your sister-in-law's, like, what kind of weight sweater does she like knit. And
my first question is always, does she knit sweaters?
Yes, she does, and she did. And so we talked a lot about it. We talked about like what could be possible, but she ended up going with what I thought was maybe a little safer, which was two hat options. She picked some of the Zodiac by Seven Sisters, just stunning, and she picked like 2 skeins of each of 2 colors. And then I was like, she could do a hat and cowl. She could do but it's always tricky because I'm like, I mean, of course I want to sell you a sweater's quantity of yarn, but also it's such a big commitment. And as a knitter, I think if I got a sweater's quantity of yarn from somebody, I would be like, it might be complicated to receive that gift.
Well, I did once, and it wasn't enough. And I found it recently, and I'm like, what should I do with this?
It might not be enough, or maybe then you have the sense of obligation, like, this was a gift, I better knit it into a sweater. But then what if you don't have enough? Or what if you actually would like to knit a cabled sweater, but you don't have any of it? So
yeah,
and we get questions like that, and we try to, you know, support the customer in whatever they want.
And we're sitting in front of what we always recommend for people who want something from this area. Our indie dyed yarn
and our main farm yarn woolly wool too.
Yep, we've got lots of choices. But do tell them about the most popular item this summer.
Well. Oh no! Jeez.
Liar.
I like those because they're cute. I'll show them in a minute. These lobster stitch stoppers, which one of our local goats, Jennifer, suggested that we stock, because we already stocked the stitch stoppers from Fox and Pine. And Jennifer was like, you should get the lobsters. Did you see the lobsters when they came out, whenever it was? Well, we've been getting the lobsters, and they've been flying out the door. We got lobsters last week, and we have 2 left. We got how many lobsters last week? 25. 2 left. And they're so cute, and they're kind of like, they feel good. They're a little rubbery, and they just like, you could fidget with them.
We love our stitch stoppers. I did have one of our regulars, like, I'm not trying those. I'm not going to get stuck collecting those.
It is
like,
fun.
Because some people do collect them.
I mean, okay, I'm really trying to resist the cutest. These are new. Look at the smile on these little whales. Look how cute they are.
Look at the spout.
And the spout. And they've got a little pink smiley face. I don't know. Yeah, they're really cute.
I ordered these, and I was like, there's a few different whales. And
this was a cute one.
I thought this was the cuter one.
You also got the hippos.
I did.
They're so adorable.
So yeah, it's so funny. I bought a whole ton more. So if anybody wants some,
just sign up for the back in stock. So we have them right over here by the front door, and I just sort of tossed them out there on the day that they came because so many people were coming in and out of the shop. Well, that's the place to put them because it's a real high visibility place. And then we also have been selling a lot of these awesome kits. It's the Lobster Head by our friend Whitney Terrell of Adventure Bound Designs. And we have a couple different colorways. This is actually a new colorway, and I'm going to take it out because this, it's let me pull out this gray, but this is Matera by Land du Nord. It's a beautiful DK weight
and it's
merino.
So soft. We don't have it. And I keep thinking we're going to have to get it because it's really nice.
Feels great.
And it's inexpensive.
So you get this kit. This is a sort of a little more classic. There's this beautiful marine blue to go with your lobster head. And we have maybe one in aqua, but is the aqua coming? We might have needed to
No, we have plenty of aqua.
So then there's an aqua one too. But really fun little color work pattern, DK weight yarn. So you're not, you know.
Where's the actual hat?
The actual hat is,
I'm gonna grab it.
Grab it because it's an aqua. Perfect. Yeah, so people have been really enjoying this as a fun, like, kind of a grab and go memento. We've got other kits going. We've got other lobster hat style kits as well. Yeah.
I mean,
so cute and a really nice like.
Did I put it on backwards?
No, I don't know.
What's backwards?
What is backwards?
I feel like the lobster wants to be like.
Yeah, I love that. Yep,
Perfect.
very fun, very main.
And this is the aqua color.
Yeah.
People have been buying this like crazy,
Yep.
and it's DK, so it's a pretty quick knit.
Quick knits. Yep.
You could definitely make it on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So that's fun. Oh, we should talk about what we're wearing.
Oh yeah, what are you wearing?
So this is the Mosscele, which we have in a shawl length, and last summer I knit it in, it was the Sonata Shima, which I don't have anymore, but that's like a cotton silk yarn. We have the Sonata, so you could do a solid. But it's such an easy, relaxing knit. You're just making holes and yarn overs, and it's knit, you know, corner to corner. Yeah, really fun.
Nice. And I am again in my Anker shirt. My Anker summer shirt, and I keep saying again that I need to make another summer shirt, and I haven't, because I have been just
finishing things.
To bring that up, I have not worked on this. I finished the bottom, but I haven't. I felt like it was sort of like, I think I have this thing now where if I'm a little struggling with finishing a project, that as soon as I cast off the bottom, I should have picked up a sleeve. And if I had done that, it probably would be done now. But I didn't, and it's been a couple weeks. And I'm also starting, do we want to talk about this yet?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm starting a Bitty Brioche. That's the right side. It's very small. I haven't gotten very far, and actually hopefully I'm doing it right.
It's great.
And
in on the round plush single, which we love.
It's a special colorway.
Very special.
And this is it finished.
Yeah.
This is Iris's brand new pattern that she released last Friday. And if you come into the shop, there's bound to be one employee wearing them, because everybody is loving them, and several people have made two.
Rachel's on her third, I think.
You have made.
I think I'm on 6 now. But wait, so this is plush single also in the Rebel colorway, and I feel like, and I've knit one of mine was applied yarn, and then the others have been all single ply, and I kind of love it in the single ply because there's a little lighter, it's a little lightness, you know. The plied yarn is a little, it just holds its form, I think, because of that. Yes, look how cute.
And you could, if you were the sort of person to do that, to wear it like an actual bandana.
A couple of my testers did that.
I feel like I always want to wear bandanas that way, but I feel like it makes me look goofy. Some of us have.
Yeah, I like it.
And my head is shaped that whenever I do it, it just slides off.
Yeah, architecturally,
my head really isn't made for bandanas.
Well, that's fine. You can wear it. So point in the front or point in the back, and so
or
in your hair. My current one, because I decided to, I've been eyeing the Fino by Manor del Uruguay.
Yep.
And
it's really lovely.
I have a dear friend that I'm knitting this one for. This is the color Opal, and I don't know if you can entirely get it, but it's almost like a sea glass. It's so gorgeous and beautiful to knit with. Again, a single ply. And not to say that I'm not dissuading anyone from the plied, but I think if you want this kind of effect with a super light, super drapey, that's probably more achievable with single ply. But oh yes, show that.
Have we talked about all of
we
our
haven't
knitted stuff?
No. We have things to talk about.
We have a lot apparently to talk about.
Well, we could talk about it.
Okay. We're gonna talk about it.
We're just gonna talk about it.
So did you notice these both have these little cute little
the world's smallest hair tie?
No.
Nope.
But yes, sort of like that. So these are these are Floops stitch markers, and they come in different colors and they come in different sizes. and it's so challenging to see with the little bit of plastic. I'm gonna pull them out.
They're so nice because it is a little elastic, like the world's tiniest hair tie. And so it makes it so easy to just lift it up and pick it with your needle. And they come in medium, large, and small, right?
Yep. And I've only tried the small ones, but why I like it is because sometimes there's certain stitch markers that seem to like have a spring in them and they go
bounce.
And these ones don't seem to do that. They're a little calmer and they're fun colors. And yeah, so we are fans.
That's one of our new things we're excited about.
Yeah, we have Flox tools, we have floops, stitch markers.
Oh, I have a Flox tool.
And furls.
Furls.
And these are all from the Floop Stitch Marker Company, which is from Vermont, which is kind of cool.
This is the Flox tool, and you may remember us talking about that last year when we first got them or whenever that was, but very nice little pointy wooden tip. And then this super bendable middle part, so you could do this if you dropped a stitch, you could corral it. Or I sold one of these to somebody the other day who wanted to use it as a cable needle.
Yeah, that's how I've used it.
And she said she had always used one of the ones with the hooks, but she was really finding it was annoying to her. So, those ones that are shaped like a shepherd's crook a little bit. Yep. So I said, well, you could try this one. And something about that flexibility, I feel like it's a great tool. You can use it as a fix-it tool as well.
You can use it as a stitch marker. Yep. You can use it to hold stitches because you can just close it.
Close it up.
It's got a million uses. It's a tiny little thing that is super handy. And so we have a lot of choices of colors and all that.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
I have a little progress report on my love note. Check me out. I got some progress on my second sleeve.
A little bit.
I knit it on this weekend and at the Finish Along meetup, and I'll knit it on the Wednesday Finish Along meetup, and
you'll finish along.
I'll be finishing along eventually, but I did decide, and we had talked about like unwinding it so I could sort of have the same-ish color.
And did you figure it out?
And I think it was the right move where I was at. So that's fun. And I have a finished object that wasn't even on my Finish Along radar, but sometimes you have to sneak things in. This is a very wild hat that I use when I'm teaching the brioche class, and it's the Easy Brioche Hat for Beginners pattern that I designed to teach beginner brioche. So it's 2-color, it's this like fun beanie, and
it's so squishy.
So squishy. I used the Zodiac by Seven Sisters. So it's merino, it's cashmere, and it just has such a fun bounce. And this is going to be a gift knit for a friend. So she's a very wild color kind of a person, an artist. So
and the brioche gives it like, especially on this side, but on both sides, it's like a shadow sort of effect. So it's wild. If you can feel it, you would like it.
It's fun. So I was re-knitting my hat pattern because I hadn't knit one in a couple of years, and I wanted to just polish up my pattern and make sure that everything was all good before I teach the brioche class starting this Sunday.
This is nice. I'd wear this. You can also choose mild.
You definitely can. But when I was thinking of this person, I was like, well, yeah, I think this could be great for her. So.
It's beautiful.
So that's
I just want to play with it, so
that
tells you something.
Well, and I'm also showing a finished object that my husband, the knitter, made, because actually this pair of hats is going to a couple that we know that's getting married. And we sometimes call the groom part of this couple Papa Smurf, is like his little nickname. So Papa Smurf hat, I think this was some Rios in our stash, and then we have this one. So
perfect. It looks like a royal wedding.
A royal wedding. Yeah. So that's fun to have a little finished something.
Tis.
So do you have the?
I have some more
show and tell.
That
we're obsessed with notions. We love notions.
We have a notion problem. It's a good problem to have.
It is.
So people have been asking for the row counter. And so I got several different styles, and use this for color work. You can use it for counting
rows, you know, where
if
you're the kind of person like me who forgets to click the clicker that you have.
Right, or do a tag, you know, I sometimes write down little dashes, and
so each of these like little numbers, you know, you're kind of moving the ring. So if I've done my first row, you know, I'm hanging it on the number 1, then I'm moving it up to 2, and then there's this little extra doodad here which helps you count the tens places. If you get to like 11, 12, 13, you can move that guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have never used one, but people are excited about them.
And yeah, we definitely had questions.
And those are from Twice Sheared Sheep.
And also they're not snaggy.
Oh,
that
well,
was
I'm sure they wouldn't work well if they were, right?
Yeah.
So we also got, when I was ordering those, I was like, oh, they have all sorts of fun things. So I got these beautiful stitch markers, and then these are stitch markers, but they're sort of for counting. So they're marked, you probably can't see it, but there's like 50, 100, 150.
So if you're casting on for a giant shawl or something, or a big sweater.
So you can count every 50 stitches. So it's something that you want to have trouble keeping track of, which happens to all of us.
Yes.
And it's even if it's only 200, if you had 50, 100, 150, like, that can be really helpful.
I can reliably count to 25. After that,
good job.
Yeah, thank you. After that, I'm definitely like prone to, especially if I'm not being entirely focused, it can go off the rails.
Well, and I have this thing where, like, I love notions, but also when I'm in the moment knitting, I'm like, I can't get up and go get something. And so I'll just count my rows repeatedly, or count the stitches repeatedly. And then when I go ahead and use the tool, I'm like, oh my gosh,
look how easy this
so much
made my
time.
life. Yes.
So, yes, and what do you have to share? Anything?
Well, I showed my little stitch stoppers and my lobsters.
Okay.
So I
guess that's what, I know what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yes.
So we are going, or I am going on a 4-day schooner cruise on the Louis R. French out of Camden. And that is in the beginning of September. There are still spaces to sign up if you'd like to join me and Captain Becky. She's going to be leading a little knit along.
She's a knitter. How cool is that to have a captain who's a knitter?
I toured the boat the other day. It's a beautiful, really old-fashioned type schooner. There's single cabins on that one, which is really nice if you're traveling alone. I don't know how many single cabins they have left, though. So there's double cabins. There's a lot of different types of cabins.
But even if you're sharing a cabin with somebody who you don't know, I mean, chances are they're A, going to be a knitter, and B, going to be the kind of person that wants to go on this same sort of awesome adventure. So it's likely that they could be kind of cool.
And it's really hard to explain what happens when you go out on a 4-day cruise, but it's...
I took a deep breath just like thinking about it.
I noticed. It's like how to describe it without saying the word magical, which sounds a little corny. But I think what it is you're so in nature. Like, we have cabins, but you actually don't spend that much time in your cabin. You spend time on the deck or in the galley. And if the weather's bad, they do put up
canvas.
Bivouac, I want to say. Is that right? A bivvy? I don't know.
I can't remember the word.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Anyways, someone correct me, please. I'm sure someone out there knows. Anyways, there's plenty of spaces for you to sit under cover. And the food is always amazing.
Cooked on a wood stove.
Yeah.
So that makes it sort of even more incredible that you're getting gourmet meals and homemade bread and from scratch cooking that's all prepared in the tiniest kitchen you've ever seen.
Yeah.
and on a wood-fired cook stove on a sailing vessel. And I think when I called to talk to them, the Louis R. French is the oldest continuously operating schooner in the United States. So it's on the National Historic Register. Yeah.
So it's cool. I haven't sailed on it yet, so I'm very excited. And it brings me I guess the best way to describe it is it brings me a place of relaxation that I have a hard time achieving in my everyday life.
Well, do you know why? Because you're not in charge of anything.
Well,
you're not in charge of anything. You just get to show up. The meals are prepared. If you are the type of person that likes to help in the galley, great. You could go down and help in the galley, but like meals are going to be prepared. Someone's deciding where the wind and the tides are going to take you, and they're doing the.
It's true.
If you want to help raise a sail, great. If you or an anchor, or
and if you don't,
okay.
So, there are spots open, and it's 4-day sail at the beginning of September.
Beautiful time in Maine.
Yes,
beautiful. September is great. For
and. I have sailed in September before, and it's nice. Like sometimes you get to wear a sweater,
but also you might get to wear your bathing suit.
Yes, I have done both.
All of the things.
So it's beautiful. I'm super excited. We're gonna have a special shopping time in the store before the sale, and it's gonna be a blast. So
good.
If you want to join me.
I'll put the info down below, but you have to call the Louis R. French because right now something with their online booking system is a little off or something, but the folks who answer the phone are great and can answer any questions. We have some other nautically themed lingo that we wanted to just sort of clarify, I guess, for ourselves, for all of you. We're getting clear on our language because there's all this nautical lingo popping around.
We have a sail, and a sail.
And
or a cruise, a
sail.
Cruise.
Yeah.
So the first one's actually not a sail or a cruise at all. It is a yarn crawl or a shop hop, and it's called the Maine Yarn Cruise. Just to confuse
all
us.
summer long, we say it's the Maine Yarn Cruise. You know, a shop hop, like a yarn crawl, because people are like, "Oh, when does it leave? Where's?" And like, okay, yeah.
So we did not name it.
Nope.
And for us who do these two other things, it's especially confusing. We also have a 2-hour sunset sail, which is full. So sorry, but we do that in August every year, and unless we get rained out, and then we do it in September. And that happens, and then this 4-day cruise. So
and we could talk about the Maine Yarn Cruise too, because we have so it's a yarn crawl that begins July 1st, goes through October 2nd weekend, Indigenous Peoples Day weekend. So you have a long time to complete it, and there's 22 participating shops all around the state. So some people sort of are planning like oh gosh, there's a cruiser at the door right now who's seeing that we don't open until 11, I
Which
think.
it says on the website.
Yeah, but we saw her bag. She's here for the cruise. Anyway, so the bag's great. It's a canvas bag. Every year it's a new bag design, so some people actually don't do the cruise at all. They just buy the bag because they want to collect all the bags. And inside the bag comes info about how to sign up for your sort of passport, and there's a online digital app that they've developed, so it makes it super easy. You can also use it to plan your route, and then there's some coupons for free patterns, and there's knit-alongs and a crochet-along you can participate in as well. And each shop does it a little differently.
Yep.
And we've done it a little differently each year.
Yep.
You walk in, you get raffle tickets for prizes at the end of the month and a grand prize. You might get a little discount on a certain yarn, or maybe there's a free pattern.
Yep. All those things.
All those things.
And sometimes you might get something else too.
Could be.
It just depends on where we are in the cruise and what we have.
Yep.
To offer you.
Yeah.
It changes.
But it's really fun because sometimes, especially on the weekend, we might get like a group of 4 or 6 folks who are like, we're all cruising, you know, they decided to hit a few shops in the mid-coast, let's say, and you know, just hearing about where their local yarn store is, and some folks who are from out of state who hit just a couple spots, and that's fine. If you do all 22, you can enter for the grand prize at the end, which is like a $400,
and also each shop you can win prizes at. Every month there's a new prize, so there's a monthly prize, and then there's also the shop prize that's like the grand prize for within the shop, and so you have that at every single shop. So there's lots of ways to win.
Yeah, and then the win is that you get to experience all the amazing independent yarn stores around the state.
It's a lot of fun, and maybe someday if we don't work here, we'll do it.
Could be. We could potentially do it.
It's not like been on my list. I mean, I want to. There's a few that I've been to several. There's so many yarn stores in Maine. But Maine is bigger than it looks on the map.
It is.
And there's not a ton of highways in Maine. And so it's a drive. There's a lot of driving.
Yeah.
So you have to be dedicated to do the Maine yarn cruise.
And have some time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, what else did we need to talk about? Are we good?
Cruising, sailing,
cruising.
Notions.
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but there's always next time.
Sure.
And thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, wow, you're dedicated.
People like our stuff. We get good watch-through statistics, which is cool.
It's great. Thank you all for watching.
Yeah, and give us a thumbs up or leave a comment down below if you think of it.
If you haven't subscribed, please do.
So you won't miss an exciting episode.
You won't miss another exciting episode with Kristin and Iris.
Yes, talking about all the yarn. And if you ever have questions for us, you can always drop them down below, because that could turn into something we address in a future episode, which is kind of fun.
Comments or questions are our favorite.
Good. Well, happy knitting, or making, or whatever you're doing with your hands.
Yep. Thank you so much for watching.
Happy summer.
Happy summer.
Bye.